Hallo und herzlich willkommen zu einem neuen Video auf unserem Uptrend-Kanal. Und heute will ich echt nicht viel vorwegnehmen. Wir hatten heute Mittag einen Call mit dem Co-Founder von Witly. Was ist Witly? Ganz ehrlich, ich glaube, es ist das Projekt 2022. Warum das so sein wird und was daran so spannend ist, das siehst du jetzt angefügt im Interview. Und wie bekanntlich, nach dem Interview bekommst du von mir noch eine kurze Zusammenfassung.
Okay, so Witly.io is a metaverse marketplace for real estate and something I'm incredibly passionate about. My entire background and working career has been in the real estate industry, in the real world, in the United States. And when I've worked with Evan for quite some time, and he's always like, man, you got to figure out what's the thing that is really going to help set you apart in the crypto space. And we were going, and one day it hit me, and I was like, I know exactly what we'll do. We'll become this marketplace for real estate, which is actually an extremely popular business model in the real world, with companies like Zillow and Trulia and Realtor.com and other listing sites that may exist in other countries. And so we are creating this all-in-one place where people could just come and find the best opportunities in the metaverse. They can buy virtual land, buy, rent, sell, lease, invest, whatever it is that they're trying to accomplish. And so if you look at like the market opportunity, I think you guys probably see the opportunity, or you may not want to be on the call, but just in the last 7 days in the metaverse, $105.8 million in recorded transactions on 4 platforms. That's just in 7 days. If you look at the US as an example, for the last 30 days, there's been about $310 billion worth of transactions recorded. And it was Grayscale said the metaverse presents a $1 trillion annual opportunity. The type of volume that is being traded on these metaverse platforms, buying virtual land right now, is absolutely insane. And the size of the transactions are getting very large. And what's very fascinating is some of the minimum buy-ins for virtual property are around $13,000. Now, where I live in the United States, I could go buy like mini plots of little pieces of land for $13,000, and I think that's the same in a lot of places. The big difference, the big key in the metaverse is actually the same as in the real world. It is location. Where are you buying the property? What is it next to? What's it across from? Who bought it? All of those different types of things. And what I'm hearing consistently, and I was talking to an investor a couple of days ago, and she's like, this is perfect because I was just trying to figure out where to buy land that I didn't know where to go. I didn't know which metaverse to buy in. I didn't know what opportunities would be the best. And I think that's a perfect illustration of the problem that Witly.io solves, is it centralizes the purchase of decentralized land in one of the biggest up and coming markets that I believe that there is, which is really powerful. My team is made up obviously of me. Just a little bit of background on me. I started a training company, real estate training company, about a decade ago. And my focus and expertise was in teaching real estate agents how to use social media advertising to grow their companies. I've been in real estate. I've been around it my whole life. My family was always in the real estate realm in some capacity, whether it was development or selling or whatever. I was just never personally interested in the transacting process. I was always interested in the business side of it. And so my focus has always been more on marketing, sales, training, education. And so we grew that business to about $10 million in just a few years with no capital. We bootstrapped that thing. And that allowed us to build a marketing agency to $1 million in annual recurring in about 4 months. And that allowed us to grow our current SaaS business by just 980%. I say just, that's a lot of growth, by 980% in just 12 months. And as well, I am the fractional chief marketing officer for 25 different real estate companies internationally. So people come to me because I am an expert at growing companies, and they will staff me on their team. They'll use our software technology. They'll use a lot of the resources that we've provided to help them increase their sales. My chief operating officer, her name is Lindsay Langley. She is a brilliant woman, business operator for 15 plus years, a vast array of experience. I was able to scoop her up. I don't know how still yet, but from her previous role, she worked at a solar company, and she grew the company by $40 million in 12 months. one of the most fascinating things I think that she was able to accomplish in her time there is she staffed 56 six-figure sales positions in 12 months to grow the company, which is so hard. Like, I don't know if you guys have ever grown sales teams before, but it's one of the hardest things that you could do, and just one of the most powerful operating things that I've seen. And so that's why I was so interested in working with her. And she's done a phenomenal job since she's been at Witly. Our investors and advisors, Evan has been a longtime partner of the Witly platform. He invested in Witly, I would say not early on, but a few years ago when we aligned with him and his team. And he's becoming an incredible advisor. You guys obviously know Evan. I probably don't have to tell you a whole lot about him, but he's been a great friend, great advisor, and great investor of the Witly platform, and sees, I think, a lot of promise in the Witly.io and what we're doing in the metaverse, and is very excited about it. So he's making connections, but he's one of our top investors and advisors, and we're currently taking on obviously a lot more of those, which is phenomenal. So going into some of the traction and momentum, the beautiful part about Witly is that we're an existing business. Okay, so it's not like we're trying to come up with some concept and then try to figure out how to make it all work. We're actually an existing business. We've got MVP. In 2014, we started the training company, and what I realized, and Elvira, I don't know if you have any experience in this with your real estate background, but what we realized in the United States is that most of our clients were the average age of 56, and they were not very technologically sound or savvy. And so we were teaching them how to build landing pages and automations and ads and this and that and the other thing. And it was just going over everybody's head. They're like, I don't know how to do this. The people that did it were very successful, but the people that didn't were somewhat of, suffering. And we started asking ourselves these questions, like, how can we just do this stuff for them? And I didn't really want to build a marketing agency because that's a heavier business model. It requires a lot of staff. And so we started to, dip our toes in the water there, but it was really so that we could build a SaaS business. So what we started to do is we started to take our training and our marketing management, and we just started to program all of that knowledge and expertise into a software that would just do it for people. And we worked on that project for a few years. It was a lot of work. And we finally released it in 2020 of last year. And now we're hitting our growth phase. We moved out of our startup phase and into our growth phase, grew the business in the last 12 months from 115 monthly users to 1,242 monthly users that are paying to use the platform. That's a 980% increase. And our recurring revenue has grown from 17.5 to 152 in 12 months, which is an 868% increase. And we are consistently growing. It seems like almost not doubling each month, but we're making these huge 20, 30, 40, 50% growth swings each month because of how much success the product is really starting to go mainstream in the real estate community in the US. Some of our clients are really, really, really big influencers in the space. So we're really seeing a lot of traction. And the lifetime sales on Witly, very conservative, 2 billion plus in real estate transactions that we've helped facilitate. User-generated sales, people using our technology to sell more property. So some of our existing clients include the number one team at Remax Worldwide, the Gary Ashton team in Tennessee, number one team by transactions at EXP Worldwide, the Figueroa team in Orlando. EXP is one of the fastest growing companies in the world right now from a real estate standpoint. And then the number one rated video influencer in the United States, the Whistle Realty Group, they were rated number one by Tom Ferry, who happens to be the number one coach, and by BombBomb, who happens to be the number one communication platform in the real estate industry. And so some of our clients are some of the most influential and some of the most successful agents in the United States, which is really, really very powerful. So our business model, it's evolved, right? It's ever evolving. I'm a visionary, I'm a creative. And so I'm constantly looking at big picture, big problem. How can we create a solution? How can we solve problems and then help people? That's our core passion, is providing people an amazing experience and getting them incredible results. And I think innovation plays a massive role there. And so we started as a training company that started to do marketing agency style work. We took all of that knowledge and expertise and we built a SaaS company. And now we see such an incredible opportunity that's presenting itself in the metaverse, where we can create this listing site essentially to centralize the purchase of decentralized land. That aggregator that will help people identify the best virtual real estate opportunities all in one place so that they can go out there and they can, like I said, buy, rent, sell, invest. So we've been doing a lot of due diligence on our competition. And so what we've researched is this is fair game, I guess I could say right now. There's not really a whole lot of competition in this particular space. Obviously, the metaverse isn't new, but it's newish, right? It's coming mainstream. A lot of people are buying into it. So Rentable was a competitor that we saw. Their main focus is in leasing virtual property. So it's not necessarily facilitating, real estate aggregation. It's more will help you rent your property as like a service. The second competitor we saw was somebody called Metaverse.properties, comparable product to what we're building here at Witly.io, but they don't have any traction. They don't have any pre-existing businesses. And what we've studied on them, their real estate following or their social media following doesn't really seem to be super engaged in it. And it actually seems to be kind of maybe left. It's been a few months since they've put out any content. So I'm not clear if they're pursuing the project any further. There's not been any reported transactions that we've seen from their platform. So I don't know if they're true competition, but they were certainly somebody that we thought was comparable to the Witly.io platform. And then Zillow is a platform I listed. I don't know that they're a competitor, but they are somebody that has proved that this concept is very powerful. Zillow is a Web 2.0 business. I'm not sure if any of you are familiar. They're very popular in the United States. They grew to a $16 billion market cap. And what they've done in the real world is they became the #1 listing service provider in the United States. They're a real estate aggregator. They connected up with all of the multi-listing services and the IDXs. And so they syndicate properties to one place and people go and search. And it's become the #1 source of I wouldn't say the #1 source of home kind of sale origination. People go to Zillow first, but it's become the easiest way that people go and find property, and then they communicate with their real estate agent. And so I think it's a great proof of concept when you look at what Witly.io is doing in the metaverse. Is we're doing the exact same thing. We're that listing aggregator. We're pulling in the information, giving people the best information, and then helping them make the most informed decisions when they go to buy, sell, rent, or invest. And so this is some of the competition that we're seeing. In our go-to-market strategy, I think that we'll always lead with innovation. It's the thing that is the most exciting to me. It's the thing that I'm the best at. I'll admit I'm a product guy. Like I love this stuff. I love software. I love technology. I love innovation. And that's going to keep us really, I think, on the forefront of a lot of things, no matter how we continue to move forward. And our fast growing development team has so much experience and so many resources. Anytime we bring something new to them, and it's done quick, it's done right. And it allows us just to continually provide an amazing experience for people, and allows us to get incredible results for people. So that's, I think, one of our biggest, go-to-market strategies is just continued innovation. We call our community Wit Nation, all right? And so we have an incredible community that I've been curating for the last decade, right? So this is what I think one of the most powerful things is. I'm not starting from zero today, going forward, building something. I have a following. I have influence, right? I have tens of thousands of real estate agents internationally that are following us and are connected to us, that we help service their business, that is hungry for this stuff, hungry for information on the metaverse and cryptocurrency and investing and doing those different types of things. And what I think is really unique, and I'm going to talk about it in just a minute, is we basically have an existing user base that we're going to be able to start unlocking token benefits and rewards for, so that they can start investing in crypto that's actually really hungry for the information. So we have an existing community of raving fans that is really excited for this information. Social media ads and influencers. Social media ads are business. Like, it's what we're really good at. It's why people come to us. And I know this is like the third thing on the list here, but it's probably the #1 thing that we perform at from an acquisition standpoint. We know how to get customers. Like, it's our life, it's our job, it's what we teach other people how to do. And so our advertising, obviously, our expertise is going to be a huge benefactor here. It's going to be really beneficial. And then our connections with top influencers all over the world. You look at guys like Evan, who just came out yesterday on the front page of USA Today. You look at a lot of our existing customers or some of the most influential people in real estate. We just have a lot of incredible influencer relationships that we're going to be able to leverage. And then content marketing and email marketing. Sounds like you guys are in on the content game. We have a fully staffed team of videographers, of social media managers, of copywriters that we will be continuously working with to pump out content about this project, and to build our email community the same way that we're building some of our other social communities. And so that's our go-to-market strategy. And I believe that our competitive advantages will help really complement our go-to-market strategy. One thing that isn't listed here, which I think is obvious, and I should probably throw it in, is the learn and earn opportunities that exist in crypto. And we have a big user base that's really ready for that. But the other thing is the promote and profit incentives. So when our existing user base is promoting their business, just doing nothing more than what they're already doing, they're going to be able to start unlocking rewards that they can use to buy land in the metaverse. So we're going to start rewarding our existing customer base, thousands of users, immediately for jumping in to the utility that the Witly token will provide to them. So we've got those promote and profit incentives. Obviously, again, our advertising expertise, B2B relationships, influencer relationships. I was on the phone 2 days ago with a woman named Teresa. She is basically got a seat at the table at the National Association of Realtors, which is obviously a US-based business, but US-based entity, but that's 2.2 or 2.5 million real estate agents. We've got an advocate sitting at the round table over there that's, hey, you guys need to talk to this guy. Because the National Association of Realtors is always looking for experts that they can bring in, that they can talk to, and that they can work with to help educate their entire member base, which is all the licensed real estate agents in the US. And so it's just relationships like that my reputation that I've developed over the last decade has helped me curate and helped me build. Not to mention relationships with people at, if you go back to the client list, people at Keller Williams, people at Realty One Group, people at EXP. We've developed some of these incredible relationships with some of the top level people at the largest real estate companies in the world. And so we've developed a ton of really great B2B relationships that are going to help us tap into that user base. And so there's a lot of really incredible competitive advantages I think we have because of the background and the experience that we've had doing this in the real world that we'll be able to immediately apply into the virtual world. So diving into the core problem, I think I've mentioned it a couple times, but the core problem right now is that obviously there's this virtual land grab taking place. Like some of the largest investment firms in the world are jumping in and just grabbing up as much virtual land as they can buy. And so how do you know? How do you know what to buy? How do you know when to buy it? What signals are being pushed out? How do you know if Snoop Dogg just bought a piece of property? How do you know if Tesla's throwing a new showroom down somewhere? How do you know if the latest NFT gallery is popping up or whatever it might look like? Finding the right virtual land right now is difficult, and you don't know which metaverse to go in and buy it in. And so it can create a lot of investor confusion, a lot of buyer confusion. Because like, man, I really want to put my money here. I just don't know where to put it. And that's what Witly.io solves. It streamlines the virtual real estate browsing and buying experience with an NFT marketplace, essentially centralizing the purchase of decentralized land as a real estate aggregator. So people can just go to one place and they can search and they can identify investment opportunities. And we're able to use our algorithms in such a way that we can help them identify, hey, we believe this property is increasing in value, giving people signals so that they know to buy or they know to sell or they know what type of action to take based on what the properties are doing, because our platform is in real time scoping out that information. So that NFT marketplace, it solves that core problem. And then what's cool about this is we can integrate Witly.io with Witly.net, and people can use our advertising technology. So while our existing users will be able to earn rewards in the metaverse, well, the people that are using Witly.io are going to be able to earn rewards and service benefits in the real world, where they can use our advertising technology and advertise their virtual land listings. People are buying these virtual properties and they're doing incredible things with them. They're really cool. I'm watching people build hotels and galleries and gaming centers and all kinds of stuff. And so we'll be able to help them use our advertising technology so that they can promote their virtual property, because we know that the number one thing that increases the value of real estate is location, i.e., really good attention. If there's enough attention on the property, it becomes more and more valuable. So if we can help them increase the eyes on their property, it really naturally help them increase the value of the property.
So, das war das Interview und jetzt die Zusammenfassung. Also, wie ihr gesehen habt, das ganze Projekt bildet einen Aggregator. Was kann dieser Aggregator? Das Problem von den Foundern wurde erkannt, hey, da hast du dieses Metaverse und jenes Metaverse und dann hast du hier vielleicht ein Grundstück und da und die Übersichtlichkeit und eigentlich hakt's vorne und hinten. Und genau dafür ist dieser Aggregator da. Weil das ist halt eben auch das Geile. Investoren können jetzt anschauen, okay, alles klar, welches Grundstück ist in welchem Metaverse gerade am besten verfügbar und welches hat auch eben das größte Potenzial. Und jetzt kommt halt eben auch das Spannende. Diese Plattform ist ja unabhängig, egal welches Metaverse aufkommt, welches Metaverse wegstirbt. Es ist egal, man kann es ja immer wieder austauschen, aber die Plattform bleibt bestehen. Das Interessante vom Founder, den ihr jetzt gerade ja kennengelernt habt, ist seine Background-Story. Er ist schon seit Jahrzehnten im Immobilienbereich tätig und in der realen Welt hat er genauso eine Plattform bereits aufgebaut. Und diese Plattform macht mittlerweile Milliarden Umsätze. Ja, und jetzt kann man sich natürlich fragen, hey, wenn der so eine Plattform schon hat, dann kann er natürlich da auch dementsprechend schon ein paar Investoren kennen. Insgesamt umfasst sein Netzwerk Zehntausende an Immobilienmakler, die alle dieses Projekt bereits promoten, weil sie dafür auch wiederum Referrals bekommen. Und jetzt kannst du dich selber fragen, hey, gerade Metaverse in aller Munde, Immobilien im Metaverse, noch mehr in aller Munde. Frag dich selbst, ob dieses Projekt nicht wirklich das Projekt 2022 ist. Soweit zu den Infos. Alle weiteren Infos wie White Paper und alles außenrum, noch mehr Informationen erhältst du in unserer Telegram-Gruppe, der Link jetzt unter dem Video. Und natürlich abonniere wie immer diesen Kanal, dass du keine wichtigen Infos verpasst. Setz einen Kommentar drunter. Ich bin jetzt gespannt. Schreib da auch gerne mal drunter, hey, was sagst du dazu? Ist es das Projekt 2022 oder ist es das nicht? Und es kommt vielleicht noch was ganz anderes. Ich bin auf deine Meinung gespannt. Und ja, wir sehen uns beim nächsten Video.